All right, and we're back.
Yeah, it's good. I'm back for game two. Gemma, are you going 2 games tonight as well?
Yep, I'm going to be commentating this game and then the next game with Will Flossie, and then going to be continuing to enjoy watching.
Yeah, no, same. I'm excited to be able to fully watch this time instead of commentating and then jumping back on to commentate later. So I'm getting my 2 games out of the way early this week.
Yeah, for sure. It worked out well with us having five people and 5 games, so everyone commentating too. So it works out just perfectly. I am really looking forward to this matchup right here.
I am too.
Number one, everyone should know Charisma by this point, based solely upon the view.
We already have it in the chat.
Bat has already started posting it. This is this was what was messaged to Charisma during the tournament this last weekend. What tournament was that? Do you know?
I think it was one of the Barbados tournaments. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's a pretty fun page that it's been going around our Discord. I know it's been going around a lot of other Discords recently. Honestly, the more I see it, the more I laugh. It's something that's not going to get old for a while for me.
No, it's really not. And knowing Charisma as this is the person that it happened to makes it even funnier because it's made its rounds around Twitter everywhere else. It's not just not just a localized joke at this point.
Yeah, no. It's one of the better VGC jokes that I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, for sure.
We see Charisma lock in right away with his Vinu Cole No Skill, Long Live Spain team, and DJ Prime has Celesteela, Clefairy, Dragapult, Blaziken, Aurorus, and Whimsicott.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen this, I believe the same 6 or 5 of the same 6 is what DJ Prime brought 2 weeks ago. I remember that Aurorus, and I remember us asking, what does Aurorus do? And I believe it just went down to a Steel Spike. So I'm hoping that we can see a little bit more come out from that Aurorus. I want to see something exciting.
I've got to say, both trainers doing a great job using the brand new little added effect of the tear in the screen for their trainer cards. That's brand new with Crown Tundra. So we see Celesteela Whimsicott as the lead on DJ Prime's side, and Porygon 2 Venusaur. What's going to happen? Are we going to see an ally switch? Are we going to see a Sleep Powder? Are we going to see a switch to Torkoal? The world actually will never know.
There's so many possible things that Charisma can do from this positioning. It's one of the reasons why this is kind of an archetype that's running around everywhere right now. Everyone's talking about ally switch, and I think I saw someone tweet today about facing a Porygon 2 that ally switched 4 times in a row. So it is incredibly versatile on this team right here. The one thing that seeing DJ Prime's lead, it reminds me a little bit of Eric's lead from a few weeks ago with that Whimsicott plus Celesteela Fake Tears Tailwind support set. So we might be seeing a fully offensive Celesteela here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either way. As we just see the Celesteela Protect turn 1, as we see the ally switch, ban ally switch, hashtag no skill come out right away.
Ooh.
I guess we will see the ally switch not come out ever again.
Yeah.
After that point.
That is one way to go ahead and deal with the ally switch, is to go ahead and taunt it, and now you're in a position where you can go for Tailwind, Max Airstream next turn, and be in a position where you're doing some decent damage. I think there we're going to see an interesting proc potentially on this Venusaur's item, if that is in fact what we see.
Yeah, no, I think it's something we potentially could see real quick. As we're going to see this Porygon 2 switch out into the Torkoal, giving you the other side of the Venu Cole matchup and why Venusaur is so deadly in this format.
Yep. The Cole side, the non colossal Cole, I should say. This is really the second iteration of Coles here in VGC 2020/2021. I'm not quite sure what season we're in, because there are no official format games, but I believe we've been loosely calling this VGC 2021.
Yeah, I believe this is the 20. I mean, the weird thing is we're going to get Series 8 at the end of January, so we really don't know what 2021 is going to be. As we see the Whimsicott switch out here into Aurorus, and That Aurora's, as we can ask what it's going to do, it might just get KO'd to a Max Quake right here.
Yeah, Max Quake can be doing a whole lot of damage into that Aurora's. Is Aurora's particularly... I don't know my Aurora's calcs, I'll be honest. Is it bulkier on the special side or on the physical side?
Well, it's an ice type, so I would guess the special side, but it's also a ground type, so I'm not sure. And it doesn't really
live it. Yeah,
matter.
+1 Max Quake, super effective damage there, doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah. So as we asked a couple weeks ago, what does Aurora's do? We are yet to find out, even again in this week.
Here we just see the Celesteela opt for the Flash Cannon into what was that Porygon 2 and is now the Venusaur. Is now the Torkoal, excuse me, doing no kinds of damage. As the Clefairy comes out with some option for redirection. At this point, the only offensive threat left is Celesteela, because other than that, you have a 1 HP, a 1 HP Whimsicott, and you really have to prioritize getting a lot of damage down onto this Torkoal, or else you're going to be taking a pretty dangerous Heat Wave, or I guess Eruption isn't going to be doing nearly as much, but yeah, you really have to prioritize damage on that.
Yeah, and as we're going to see, again, another reason why Venusaur is broken is the Vine Lash that's coming out this turn, doing 1/6 damage to both Pokemon as long as they're not Grass type on your opponent's side of the field each turn for 4 turns, pretty much doing, like, I believe 1.3 times, like, the total HP of an individual Pokemon over the course of the turns, is a pretty broken side effect, I'd have to say.
Yeah, here's the, oh my gosh, the +1 Vine Lash plus the chip should go ahead and take out that Clefairy this turn, as we see the option here for that Celesteela to go and change the weather with a Max Rockfall and get the KO on Torkoal. That's a really good play there for Prime, because now you've taken back the speed priority and there are no more options for this Venusaur to get its speed boosts.
Yeah, the one issue with this, though, is that there's still I believe the Specs Regieleki in the back. And with this Whimsicott being able to go down to Sand in the next turn, along with Vine Lash KOing the Clefairy this turn, it's going to be a pretty tough climb if DJ Prime wants to make it back into this game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm unaware if Celesteela gets a ground type move for a Max Quake, but right now would be a great time to learn that it does.
The other thing is, does Celesteela even outspeed Regieleki in Tailwind? Because I don't think it does if this Regieleki is max speed, or even max boost.
Yeah, for sure. It's base 61 speed on the Celesteela, and Regieleki obviously being base 200. I forget exactly where Celesteela's top out in terms of speed, but I also know most people tend not to invest full speed investment into it. They tend to go more on the modest side for damage boosting.
Yeah, and as we see the Electro Ball here on this Regieleki, I would tend to guess that the Regieleki is just max speed timid, because you lose out on so much damage by going modest. And yeah, that did like 65% to a Dynamax Pokemon.
It is weakness policy though here.
Yeah, the issue now is that even if you do get a KO with this Celesteela, even onto the Regieleki, you can't really OHKO the Porygon and the Venusaur in one turn, and they can just, with the combination of a single attack plus the Vine Lash, kind of win the game.
Yeah, for sure. That Vine Lash being so devastating, one of the reasons why Venusaur is one of the kind of most used Gigantamax Pokemon. The damage over time effects are just so devastating. It's something we saw as far back as Dallas with Gmax Charizard winning Dallas Regional 2020, kind of recognizing just how much damage output you get from these, Gmax Vine Lash or Gmax Wildfire. Occasionally you see the Gmax Cannonade, but it's kind of the lesser version when compared to the other two.
Yeah, no, and like if we really think about it, almost every single major event, other than Collinsville Regionals, I believe, was won by just a broken Gmax move. Mm-hmm. We saw Venusaur win. We've seen Charizard win. We've seen Hatterene win. Hatterene won Malmo, I believe. Mm-hmm. Colossal won Players Cut. Like, all these different broken max moves are the ones that have been just winning every single event. And did that Porygon get KO'd?
It did get KO'd. That is going to go ahead and take out the Porygon. That's quite a bit of damage coming out here from that Celesteela KOing a EVLA Porygon.
Yeah, I believe +4 max steel spike is what we just saw there. Now at +5, but it's not going to be surviving this Vine Lash, sadly.
Yeah, for sure. That just a little bit of chip all that the Venusaur needed to bring it into the Vine Lash range there. So really well played by both of our trainers, trying to maneuver and trying to mitigate as much damage as possible. I think one of the things for DJ Prime is, unfortunately, that Aurorus just didn't do anything, and when you're kind of have one Pokemon that's not doing anything, and you add in 2 supportive Pokemon not going for any attacks, you're really just kind of stuck with that one Pokemon. It makes it really difficult to come back from.
You know what? I'm going to take the unpopular stance, and I want to see what Aurorus does.
It's not unpopular. Chat wants it too. Chat says let Aurorus play.
Yeah, I don't know. The issue is I don't know if it does anything, if we do find out what it does, because so far we haven't gotten to really see. And maybe it's not the right call for this matchup. Maybe the Dragapult is a better call. But I want to see what Aurorus does.
Yeah, for sure. Even maybe the Blaziken could start to put in some work. You get the boost of the Sun, plus get a speed boost or 2, and you're kind of mitigating all of Venusaur's speed. So potentially the Blaziken is one avenue here for Prime. The biggest thing you have to be afraid of is a Max Quake coming out from that Venusaur.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the Blaziken, if it can get the right speed control, will be fine. The other thing is, like, I feel like this Clefairy should probably be the lead instead of the Whimsicott, depending on what it's paired with. So you can just have a free turn to either attack, set up, whatever you want to. But maybe Whimsicott plus Celesteela still is the right lead, and this time instead of taunting, you assume that Charisma like predicts the taunt and you just fake tears and attack into something. The issue is that I don't believe that Venusaur was shown to be Copa Berry last game, so a fake tears airstream wouldn't even pick up the KO into it this game.
Yeah, for sure. The fake tears would mitigate the kind of damage reduction as a whole, though, wouldn't it? So it would just be like taking a neutral airstream from a Celesteela. So if a neutral airstream KOs, then that might be enough.
Yeah, which I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. You see the Whimsicott Blaziken here versus... I believe we saw Porygon 2 Venusaur again.
Yep. Another matchup featuring some of the coolest shinies in the franchise here.
Yeah, the Cotton Candy Porygon 2 is pretty incredible. I think we're going to see Trick Room.
Ooh, interesting play here. Yeah, as potentially a Tailwind into Speed Boost, Tailwind into Flare Blitz, plus the Speed Boost, probably gets that Blaziken in a position where it's going to be faster than Venusaur. But not so much with Trick Room up, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the issue is you can't even really switch the Torkoal in to give the Venusaur the speed, because Blaziken's fire move is now boosted and will pretty much KO anything at that point.
Yeah, for sure. And the Tailwind completely mitigates the Chlorophyll boost, so it's definitely a good lead from Prime in the sense that it pressures exactly what happened last time. The biggest problem is still the fact that this Porygon 2 is so versatile. Having moves like Ally Switch and Trick Room and Recover just kind of mean that it sticks around for way too long. We do see the Blaziken here Dynamax, which potentially might help it live next turn because it's going to be moving last. And Venusaur goes for the Protect.
Yeah, we might see an Airstream here and a Taunt both into the Venusaur, but again we see the Taunt calling the right side. This time taunting the Porygon, where last time taunted the Venusaur and the Porygon ally switched into it. But this is a pretty great turn one for DJ Prime.
Yeah, for sure. DJ Prime does set the sun here for this Venusaur. Hey, Termi. Sorry, I'm so bad at saying names on stream. Termi, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies.
So it's interesting to see here how Charisma even finds a way through this. This Taunt Whimsicott is kind of like throwing everything for a loop here, making it impossible to ally switch, making it impossible to set Trick Room, things of that sort.
Yeah, for sure. Being able to deny the Trick Room there was big, but now this Venusaur is obviously threatened here. It is going to be faster, presumably, as long as this Whimsicott doesn't go for Tailwind on this turn. We haven't seen Tailwind used yet by Prime. We've only seen the taunt come out. I think at this point we've seen taunt 3 times.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any other attacks.
Yeah, it's just been taunt and go down to the combination of sash and sand. So,
yeah.
Here Venusaur goes ahead and comes back. Doesn't really want to have to take a max flare. Potentially just allowing the sun to stay up for later so that it can step back in once this Blaziken has been largely mitigated. We do see the Tailwind here. Whimsicott does in fact know the move Tailwind.
And we see the Max Flare doing...
Oh my
gosh. Like 60% to this Torkoal? Oh,
critical hit. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, I know it's sun boosted and it's powerful, but... We do see...
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
I was going to say, we're going to see +2 Blaziken in Tailwind being pretty much the fastest thing you can get at this point.
Yeah, this Porygon 2 is dealing some pretty nice damage with Tri-Attack, as we saw in that last turn. That download boost really helping getting a +1 special attack.
Do you think we see Dynamax Porygon 2?
Honestly, it's not a terrible call. I know some other members of the stream and Discord, like Adam, have really loved Dynamaxing Porygon 2, especially when he pairs it next to a Decorate Whimsicott, and being able to get a lot of damage off. So
yeah. We see the switch into Clefairy here, kind of protecting the Blaziken for at least 1 extra turn, so something like a Max Strike from Porygon couldn't KO. But we see the Max Knuckle now into this Porygon, predicting the... Oh my gosh.
Gosh. This thing hits much harder than I thought it did.
Well, yeah, forget what I said about this Porygon. This is not Dynamaxing this turn.
No. The Tri-Attack does bring it down here under 20%, but now this Blaziken is +3 speed in Tailwind with active redirection next to it. You're pretty set here.
Yeah, no, I don't think Charisma has much of a way through this game. Something like a Heat Wave and an Ally Switch is probably the most optimal play. But even that, like, potentially you can just like Fire Move into the Torkoal and Moonblast into the Porygon too, and get the KOs.
Yeah, for sure. And with the Tailwind, this we just see the close combat come out here into the Torkoal, potentially trying to predict that Ally Switch, which I believe this is still a taunted Porygon 2 as well, so it can't go for that Ally Switch.
I think Taunt just wore off this past turn.
Okay, just wore off. Gotcha. And Clefairy will pick up the Moonblast KO right here on the Porygon 2 as well. So now with the Charisma still does have his Dynamax available. He hasn't Dynamaxed yet, so that is one potential avenue. Oh, I forgot to update the overlay. Sorry about that, y'all.
It's all good. As we see the Venusaur comes back out and the Regieleki comes out, something really cool here would be Charisma trying to make his way back into the game by predicting this Blaziken Protect and Vine Lashing the Clefairy this turn. Potentially being able to do that allows you to get back in the game by taking out this Blaziken with the Vine Lash chip. Otherwise, just going for the Max Lightning and with Regieleki is probably the best play. I'd say at this point, you're so far back that just going for Vine Lash this turn is maybe your best option.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where the Blaziken's just kind of free to attack in. At this point, it is going to be so much faster than both of these Pokemon, where you might just see a Protect come out here.
Yeah, I think if I was in Prime's position, my play would be to just attack the Regieleki. But even then, like, if you just get that wrong, this Venusaur could make its way back with a 4 versus 1 with Vine Lash chip.
Yeah, Venusaur at 50% here, interestingly enough, too. It does have the Sun, so as soon as you make it through this Blaziken, nothing else will be outspeeding you. But the Sun was also set pretty early on, so I think it's getting pretty close to expiring here. It was on turn 1 of Blaziken's Dynamax.
Yeah, as we see the Flare Blitz into this Regieleki, picking up the KO with it having no way to protect, and Vine Lash should just pick up the KO. Oh, Blaziken down to the Life Orb, never mind. Vine Lash to protect would be doing enough.
Was that just the chip? Yeah, from Flare Blitz.
Yeah, the Flare Blitz recoil.
Yeah, that's the one kind of risky things with Flare Blitz right there, is you're going to guaranteed take that damage, and when you're at such a low health, KOing a Pokemon will put you in that position.
Yeah. Although it potentially could have already been in Life Orb range, so it didn't particularly matter. But the Tailwind and Sun both run out this turn, and potentially we'll see Celesteela come in here. If so, this is pretty much over with the Venusaur having no way to hit this Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, with a Vine Lash being the only damage that you can really do into it, the best you can hope for is potentially getting some ooze boosts up here, and then maybe going for a Vine Lash on your last turn, or getting 2 ooze boosts into like a Vine or the Undynamax Vine Lash. Your grass move.
Leaf Storm.
Yeah, Leaf Storm. I was like, I forgot exactly which grass move it was based off of, but yeah, only being able to get 1 boost here means next turn you just go for that Vine Lash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the issue is Celestial is going to be able to get 3 attacks off here, and yeah, it's not going to need all 3 of those.
No. Yeah, especially there seeing that it opted for Flamethrower as opposed to going for something like Air Slash, which has both a chance to miss and does it also, could have been a way back for Charisma. His Kobo Berry has not yet been revealed, so that's something where the heads up play from Prime going for the Flamethrower as opposed to the Air Slash.
And yeah, Prime will be taking game 2 from what it looks like. A Tailwind Flamethrower, or even Dazzling Gleam Flamethrower will pick it up.
Yeah, or just Dazzling Gleam does it.
Yeah. So, okay. I thought it lagged out for a second. Maybe that was on my end.
Yeah, I think it might just be our Skype call. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
So there we have Prime going ahead and taking a game, and we are even here going into game number 3 of set number 2. Already starting off the night and getting a best of 3, going to 3, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, I have to say, I know Charisma a little bit better, but that allows me to root against him because he's using Venu Cole, Ally Switch, no hashtag no skill, hashtag long live Spain. I don't remember what the rest of the text was, but I'm actively rooting for this Auroras and this Blaziken to do something.
Yeah, for sure. I am as well. I want to see Auroras do something. I still am a little bit skeptical that it can, unfortunately.
It's an interesting Pokemon, I'll say that.
Yeah, I want to see it do something good. It just feels like both of the matchups that Prime has brought it to, it's been not the right Pokemon. But I think that's its problem.
It could, yeah. I think Auroras is not the right Pokemon in pretty much every matchup it's involved in VGC 21. Potentially, if it was in the game during VGC 20 back in like Series 2, it could have had a place. You could have had like Trick Room Dusclops with like Max Auroras and like Brick Breaking yourself, or like something like, or Bulldozing yourself probably makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, Brick Break sounds too terrifying. It's 4 times effective, right?
Yeah, that Bulldoze would be, especially with like, it doesn't have Glaciate, or what's the ice, like, I forgot, Refrigerate?
Refrigerate, yeah, Refrigerate is the version. I'm actually unfamiliar. I'm gonna pull up real quick just to see what Auroras' abilities are.
I believe it gets Snow Warning and Refrigerate as its 2. It might have a 3rd, but I believe those are the 2. But like Refrigerate Hyper Voice would be really cool, especially like you can max it and you could have like Hyper Voice Blizzard Rock move. Oh, Moxie boosted.
Hey.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Yeah, thanks for the follow, Moxie. Love catching your streams and your YouTube videos as well. We are here in game number 3 of set number 2 of our Monday Night Friendlies. We see the Blaziken Whimsicott is again the lead here for DJ Prime after how well it worked out last time. Charisma opted to switch it up here, going Regieleki plus Venusaur. So, obviously not loving the way that P2 play went with trying to go for Trick Room but getting taunted. This is definitely an interesting pivot, potentially something like a Volt Switch into Torkoal, and maybe getting a max pick off into Blaziken. I don't know if you really want a max in front of it though.
Yeah, no, I mean, does Venusaur even survive a Max Flare if the first turn is just Tail and Max Flare? Because I'm not particularly sure if it does or not.
Especially if you pivot into the Torkoal. I don't think it will. So I guess we'll figure that out real quick here. And we'll also learn a little bit about this Regieleki as to whether or not... I think it can't outspeed in Tailwind. Never mind. We won't learn anything.
Yeah, I'm not particularly sure. But we do have a question for you in chat from Moxie Gemma on how we set up this streaming from everything going on.
Yeah, great question. So we actually have a custom RTMP server where we have them stream to that server, and then I go and I get the feed from that server and I bring it into ROBS as a media source. It's something where I could definitely show you how to do that. If you want to shoot me a DM, either on here or in Discord after it. I can help you get that set up.
Yeah, the one limitation is it does require having capture cards. We will say, but it is really nice knowing that there's like the $20-$25 capture cards available on Amazon that can stream Pokemon pretty easily.
Yeah.
And so it pretty much opens it up to, we have enough people in our Discord that play that have capture cards that allow us to get pretty much everybody in playing week in and week out.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, for sure, shoot me a DM and I'll link up with you after the stream. So here we see the Blaziken there went for the max Knuckle into the Regieleki, doing a whole lot of damage. And I missed exactly what the Whimsicott did. Did it go for a taunt?
I believe it went for Tailwind.
Tailwind, okay.
I believe it went for Tailwind, yeah.
Yeah, so this Blaziken now will be faster than Torkoal, or will be faster than Venusaur even if a Torkoal comes in with the speed boost plus the Tailwind. And it's definitely just threatening all kinds of damage into this Venusaur now.
Yeah, and especially this Venusaur maxing in the face of now Blaziken and Celesteela, both of which it's particularly threatened by and can't do that much in return, makes it a really tough position for it to be in at this point.
Yeah. Fingers crossed they can get this Max Quake off, because I think that's going to be really the only potential way that this Venusaur is able to survive this turn. We do see the Regieleki just hard switch out into the Torkoal, setting the Drought, and this gives Charisma kind of the best shot at getting this KO. But as we see, actually the Max Knuckle here coming out from the Blaziken will go ahead and allow this Venusaur to get damage off into the Blaziken. That could KO it. That might have been a really dangerous position for DJ Prime.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, actually. Prime, both turns, predicting that the Venusaur is going to go for a Max Guard that we did see in game, I believe, 2, that it does carry. Mm-hmm. And Charisma just saying, no, I'm going to force you to attack me, and getting stuff off with the Venusaur in the face of Pokemon, threatening it from really both Pokemon. So this is really what Charisma had to do in order to stay in this game, as we do see the Flamethrower come out, and with the special defense boost, not doing that much, even with the sun up.
Yeah, for sure. So this is definitely kind of the tide-shifting moment, I think, for this battle. Now, Charisma very much so in the driver's seat, with Torkoal still having health left. Venusaur is in a position where, you're not going to really be able to do a whole lot of damage into it with the Max Quake boost, and you can go ahead and KO Clefairy here with the Max Ooze. The biggest problem is you have to protect that Torkoal to get damage off back into that Celesteela.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one nice thing is that the combination of this Torkoal's attacks, plus this Venusaur's attacks, plus still having the Regieleki in the back with the choice specs, kind of makes it impossible for Charisma to lose at this point if all the attacks connect. With Heat Wave that we see here, probably going to be doing like 50 or so percent.
Ooh, 65%. Did we see it was Charcoal, I think, on that Torkoal?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it is Charcoal. Yeah, that makes sense with the damage being Charcoal. Yeah. And this Celesteela is living this turn only, and Vine Lash will take it out next. So
yeah, for sure. Getting the weakness policy boost, obviously big for it. Mitigating that Max Quake boost, but at this point, yeah, any damage into the Celesteela will go ahead and KO, and just, double protect will take Celesteela down to the Vine Lash.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Charisma really played as well as he could here, pretty much calling out, you're not going to target my Venusaur because you think I'm protecting, multiple turns in a row, and kind of it's almost like bringing, I don't know, I don't understand how this play ended up working out, but Venusaur took down a Celesteela and a Blaziken with only one neutral / super effective move on either of them that it went for.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed.
Yeah, for sure. Incredibly impressive. It's obviously the reason why people were telling Charisma, Venusaur, no skill, Venusaur, ban ally switch.
Yeah, and as we see the chat saying, predicting the max guards was just too risky. You just have to keep him honest and click the max flare into the on that, especially that second turn, potentially going for the Dazzling Gleam to pick up the KO on Regieleki, or going for whatever move to pick up the KO on Regieleki, and going for the flare into Venusaur is probably the safest play you can go for at that point.
Yeah, for sure. So That will go ahead and wrap up set number 2 here, as Charisma goes ahead and takes that. So I believe now is the time. If y'all still have it, go ahead and spam Vinu Cole, no skill, Vinu Cole, Viva España.